Because, for example, an exam like GMAT, you know, the score is between 200 and 800. 800 as a maximum. Most schools out there, really good state universities, will require you to score at least a 500. So if you don't really even know what score you're supposed to get for the schools that you are going, you're going to go apply to the school, and actually even applying to the school costs money. You apply to the school and then the school rejects you. So you might find you've spent like 10,000 Kenya shillings just applying to a school with a very low score of your GMAT, and you end up not getting to that school. So the good thing with having someone who is guiding you through the process, an expert, is because they'll know this school requires this type of score, yes, and for this program, and in as much as you're going to study for that course, I mean for that exam, let's say GMAT or GRE, make sure that you are getting at least the minimum that is required by the school. Now
Mwiti, I'm looking at what we have in the country. We know right now there's a conversation about the education sector in Kenya.
Yes.
Now, when somebody chooses a school, it could be primary, high school, or the tertiary level, they always select based on what is considered to be the best school. If I want to do a course in medicine, in Kenya we know that there are those who prefer certain universities.
Yes.
If I want to do journalism, there you prefer certain universities because we consider those universities to be the best in that particular course.
Correct.
Does it apply also for schools in the US?
Well, not really. What matters is, you see, let's say, for example, you're going as a master's student like I went.
Yes.
I went to a school called Indiana University of Pennsylvania. It's a state university located in the state of Pennsylvania. And if you rank it with other universities in the US, it comes to around almost 2,000. Number 2,000 in the US. But it's a good state university.
It's a good university.
It's a good university, but the ranking is like 2,000 something.
Wow.
Yeah. But you see, when it comes to getting jobs, most of the time what the employers out there are looking for is, do you have the skills or not? Not necessarily you went
where you went,
no,
where
not
you studied at.
No. You can find I've seen people who went to Yale, Harvard, struggling actually getting jobs, you know. But not to say that, you know, those are bad schools. I mean, of course, the name, if you went to Harvard, you know. Yeah. So but generally, what I can advise anybody who is out there and they really want to go and study, especially those who want to go and study in the US, because that's really where I've lived and that's why I went to school, just look for state universities. Those are usually good. You know, they have a good name. Hata ukisikia shule atijui iko na ranking ya 5,000. US kuna universities, I think, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 or 10.
Chukua hiyo shule ba.
Chukua. As long as it's a good state university, chukua hiyo, and you'll get your degree, and you should be able to get a job.
Mchagua jembe si mkulima.
Mchagua jembe si mkulima, yes, as they say.
If you have any questions, I invite you and I welcome you to be part of this conversation. All right? The hashtag is Good Morning Kenya at Ramba Google and at KBC Channel 1. Keep engaging with us. Ask those questions. Do you want to invest in higher education abroad?
You are watching Success with Bob Mwiti Show, presented to you by Upstack America. Upstack America is a consulting company that helps immigrants find amazing higher education and job opportunities in the tech industry in the United States. You can find our programs by going to www.upstackamerica.com. Upstack America, we wake you up to the unlimited potential.
Now, Mwiti, you mentioned the process, and that's okay. Now, what are those common mistakes people make when they are applying for these student visas and getting to these universities? These mistakes that you've managed to come across in this particular area.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of mistakes that a lot of our students make. One of them is the issue of funding, which is a big problem. I think it's the elephant in the room when it comes to studying abroad. Remember we talked about the 5 million. So where do you get that 5 million? Yes. So what I've seen a lot of people do is that they usually go approach somebody. Let's say, for example, like you. I come to you and say, maybe you're my uncle or I know you. I ask, do you have maybe bank statement that can help me so that I can be able to present to the school to show that I can be able to support my education?
Wrong move?
Wrong move. Really wrong move. Because even if you get a bank statement, let's say, for example, you've gotten a bank statement of 5 million. You presented it to the school gives you the approval and gives you the immigration document to take to the embassy for the visa. And then you go to the embassy and present the same document saying, hey, my uncle is supporting me. And yet, all you have is basically the document. But
the money itself.
The money is not there.
You will suffer.
And the mistake that people make is to assume that you will go on the other side and you will be able to figure out where to get that money. A lot of people think once you go abroad, you'll be able to work and pay for your school fees. Now, what people don't realize is that you are only, especially in the US, you are only allowed to work 20 hours a week. That basically means you are working part-time. And you're only allowed to work on campus.
So for students, 20 hours.
20 hours
a
week.
A week.
A week.
So did I say a day?
You said a day.
A week.
So that's 4 hours a day if you're working for 5 days. If you're working 7 days, you can do the math. But
Okay.
20 hours a week.
A week.
Yeah, that's part-time. And another thing, because I've told you, you're only allowed to work on campus.
Yes.
So most of the jobs that you can be able to find on campus, they are not really well-paying jobs. They pay you minimum. They are limited and they pay you very little. You get paid like minimum wage. Now, for example, I live in the state of Florida. I think our minimum wage right now is around 8 or 9. I'm not very sure. Minimum wage. And so if you're getting paid, let's say, for example, $8 an hour, and you've worked for 20 hours, that's $160 a week. Now, imagine wewe ulipatiana bank statement hapa, ukaenda huko, so school fees inakungoja ya how many? Ya 5 million in 2 years. Let's say, for example, now 5 million is 2.5 per year. So, uko na school fees ya 2.5 per year, yenye unafaa ulipe, na una hiyo pesa because ulipatiana bank statement. So, where will you get the money? So, what happens is, most of the time, unaona mtu ameenda, ana school fees, the moment sasa amefika huko, na hawezi fanya job, because umesikia ana earn $160 in a week 160 in a month, hata ufikishi pesa mingi. How will you be able to sort your school fees and living expenses? Accommodation in America as a student, if you take a shared accommodation, let's say, for example, a 4-bedroom apartment, mko na student wengine hapo, mna share bathroom, mna share kitchen, you'll pay around $500-600 on a monthly basis as your rent. Hiyo pesa itatoka wapi? Na bado ni hapa tu unafanya kazi na una school fees. So that's why you find a lot of our students wanaenda huko wanakwama, and the moment you don't attend classes, you are basically out of status, which means you are in the US illegally. You are given 5-year visa, but actually when you go on the other side, having a visa means nothing. Kama actually uko shule, you need to be in school and taking at least the minimum required units.
What?
Yes, as a student. Otherwise, even if you take the units, maybe some of them you drop because you don't have enough money, because normally school fees is paid per unit. Yenye unachukua. Si kama hapa unaambiwa, this semester you are doing 7. Hapana, uko, ni units ngapi unataka kufanya wewe mwenyewe as a student. At a minimum you should take 3, at a maximum 5. So the bare minimum is 3. Na hiyo minimum 3 unachajua per unit. So unaona maybe mngependa kufanya hata moja because hauna pesa. But you can't do one because the moment you go below the 3 units, you are basically an illegal immigrant.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
You have been watching Success with Bob Mwiti Show, brought to you by Upstake America. Come back again next time to learn concepts, tools, strategies, and resources on the path of becoming a successful immigrant in USA through real-life experiences. Be sure to subscribe to Bob Mwiti channel on YouTube and also follow him on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn.